1 2, or rather 586, 586.
Capo
We're live in
Chico.
effect. A elevated bubble gang. Now, yes, that's a good example of just not doing shit normal. Why do water without the bubbles when you could do water with the bubbles? Why do coffee without flavor when you could do coffee with the flavor? That's what we've decided to do here today, and I have my guest in the house, Peace 586, joining us from the P to the D to the X, Portland,
Yes, sir.
Oregonian. What the
Yes,
trees
sir.
do out there? What's that tree
Man,
life out?
they are refreshing. It's so refreshing to breathe fresh air, fresh, clean air. Right now it's hot up here. But it's August. Almost August, so it's supposed to be hot. Um, but in a couple of months it'll be nice and rainy and clean air, and man, I love it.
Yeah, clean air is not the wave here in Southern California, and it wasn't exactly the wave where you grew up in the BX. It was in the '70s and the '80s. Is that right?
And in the Bronx, I mean, we have four seasons in the Bronx too, but right now in the Bronx is probably hot and humid. July, you know, summertime. Yeah, but
He,
wintertime it's just really cold.
they make it seem like the '70s and '80s though, like burning tires for lunch, exploding demolition buildings on the way to church or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah,
What
nah,
was?
that's all Hollywood shit, movie shit.
I was just like, what do you mean? It wasn't even. I mean, it was like that, but it wasn't like that.
Word. I mean, that's just like you being from Southern California and everybody thinking every city is Compton. You know,
Right.
it's not true. And then you turn the corner and you're in Beverly Hills. Yeah,
Right. That's New York? That was New York too. Just a big ass city with everything. Yeah, rich, the poor, the white, the black, the Puerto Rican, the
yeah, it's a melting
Chinese.
pot, man. It's just everybody and everything. But I mean, I grew up there as a kid. So me venturing out of the Bronx was like rare. We had to do like family, um, gatherings, in other boroughs if I left the Bronx, or like field trips with school. But it was mostly the Bronx. In my community is where I grew up.
And was hip hop was like defining. It was like early era hip hop. So like, and as a kid, I imagine as I was a kid, I was just attracted just to the spectacle of it. Was that true for you too?
I mean, it's kind of mind blowing because as a kid growing up and where I grew up in the Eastchester projects, um, I mean, I grew up before hip hop started, so there was no hip hop when I was a kid, and then all of a sudden in 1979, you know, Rapper's Delight comes out, and they were rocking before that, but that record was like the first like cement, like, yo, this is the new wave.
Speaking of music, I wonder if now's a good time. Just you want to maybe play a little something? I know we
Oh, word.
maybe get
Totally
us
forgot
going.
about that, bro.
Yeah, so did I. This is added dimension.
Yeah. I don't know if people can hear it, but
Yep.
turn it up a bit. Can you hear it?
Yep.
All right.
So you said
Word.
you were there before there was hip hop, and then there was hip hop, and you jumped right in the mix, or what? You started. You had your b-boying, or what was the? Or just listening, or
I mean, yeah, there was a friend, I grew up in the project, so there's a bunch of kids, and there was a girl that had a pair of 1200s. She was a DJ, and one time she was like, "Yo, come to the house and let's cut. Want to cut some records?" So she had two of every kind, and we would just cut breaks from records. Chiba Chiba, other records. Man, I can't remember right now. I'm old. But she's basically the one that taught me how to cut. Yeah, man. And I was like, I don't know, maybe 9, 10, and that was a whole different experience. But from there, like the love of hip hop began. So that's like 1979, 80.
Yeah, that's probably important for you because you became a producer. Just identifying like breaks and the role they play in a song.
Yeah,
That probably opened up
absolutely.
your eyes and shit. Like, oh shit, I recognize that break in a song down the road or whatever.
Yeah, that, and also how important the break is to making a beat. As far as the style that I make, I make more of like the boom bap, like dirty, gritty, hip hop shit type beat. So all that stemmed from my childhood, and how we used to rock shit.
So, so New York, you were only there for up until about 12, I think. Then you said you made your way to Miami during the early '80s, and you said it felt like you would like step into another country
Yeah,
because of the.
absolutely, it did. Like so, you know, um, I'm the youngest of four, and my two older brothers, they're one is 10 years older and the other one's 7 years older. They were really into like not good things. So my mom's didn't want me to grow up in that environment, so she thought it would be best to take me out of there. So I had cousins that lived in Miami, and so she thought it would be best for me to go there and grow up there. And I thought it would be cool too. Honestly, I thought it was gonna be like Disney World and like beaches and just nothing but positive. But man, it was like I stepped into Cuba and
You
just
said you said you got checked because they expected you to speak Spanish.
yeah, like going to the supermarket. You would ask how much something is, and they would demand that you speak Spanish to them. And I was like, "Where are we, dog? Like seriously, like." I mean, I'm Puerto Rican, but I don't speak Spanish. I understand it because I grew up around it, but I don't speak it. So if someone speaks to me in Spanish, I'm gonna know what you're saying. It's just mind blowing to me. Like it was like another world.
When you
Eventually,
had
I
a chance,
settled into Miami. I was there long enough to make friends, but you know, if I had a chance to do it all over again, I wish I would have stayed in New York. I wish I would have stayed there and finished school there at least.
but when you showed up to Miami, you had the New York hip hop aesthetic. You were people knew you were from New York by the way you dressed, by the way you talked. Was that already
They
part of who you
definitely
were?
knew I wasn't from Miami. I don't know where they thought I was from, but they knew I wasn't from there. You know,
Right.
because they were wearing like shoes without socks and like tight ass jeans and like Lacoste and the Tigers like really tight and like colorful like Miami Vice shit. And
Right.
I wasn't doing that.
You had the denims going on. What were you doing out there?
I mean, I was a kid, so I was up in the fashion, whatever the fashion was in New York at the time, but I wasn't wearing no Miami shit, that's for sure.
So when you got to LA, you didn't really take much of Miami with you. You were like
Oh
New
yeah,
York
no, I definitely
fitted.
stayed. I stayed in New York because my boys. I used to send my boys money, and he would send me all the like fat laces, like all the colors, and like he sent me my belt buckle with my name on it. And I stayed in the fashion. I stayed up in the times when breakdancing started getting Kangos and shit like. So I was definitely on that vibe. I never strayed. I always stayed with hip hop and fashion. And then when I moved to Cali, it was like a whole nother thing.
You moved to Fullerton, which is like just mad Mexicans. You know what I'm saying, and some
Yeah,
white folks.
yeah.
So what
Well,
was that like then? So like,
yeah, it was. Moving from New York to Miami and having dealt with that experience really taught me how to adapt to this move at 15. So I knew what to expect. That people were gonna look at me like, "Where is this guy from?" So going to Fullerton, it was a whole different thing because I was still hip hop. Like I was wearing like my Adidas or my Pumas with no shoelaces going to school, and I was looking at these white dudes like, "Why are you wearing flip flops to school and shorts? Like who does that?" But that's SoCal. I didn't know. So, but
there was a
the difference growing up, moving to California, a lot more people accepted me, and they were like, "Oh yeah, okay, this guy's cool. I want to get to know this guy." Where in Miami, it was like they didn't want nothing to do with me. I had to make friends.
yeah. You mentioned like I'm reminded of some other early hip hop heads who moved from New York to LA and then participated in like creating the culture, um, which is pretty interesting. So like, how soon after you got here did you start like, you were dressing, you were hip hop, but
hmm
when you start making music?
Oh, um, I mean, has always been a part of my life, and I would always buy records, and I was DJ. So I was DJing with some dudes that I met in high school in California, and this friend of mine, he used to DJ and he would play like freestyle shit, but he didn't have hip hop records, but he knew that at parties he would have guys that wanted to listen to it. So he asked me if I could just rock with him and just play, hip hop shit while he goes on a break. So I would DJ with him like at 17, just house parties and shit. And so music has always been a part of my life. But I didn't start making music until I met Chris Cooper, Soup, who, you know, had a drum machine in, what was that, like 1989, 1990? Yeah, he had an MPC, and I really learned how to drum program watching him make his first record. Well, not his first record, but his first sample based record, Save Man in the Jungle. I watched him how to do that, and then was in the studio with him like almost every session, watching him piece this whole thing together.
Did you make any music for that album, or when did you make music
No,
for an album?
I didn't make any music for that record. I just contributed with rhymes and like background vocals and stuff like that.
Actually, it probably wasn't long after that where, here we're just going to show our age, which we've already done. But I think you first appeared on my radar with a music video that was on BET, probably one of the first or
Yeah,
early gospel rap videos. Is that right, on BET?
yeah. Like we were the first, like true. I don't want to say the originators of like gospel hip hop, but we were definitely the first real like hip hop groups to come out in the early '90s that was, you know, crossed over. And yeah, I was on a label, and I had a single out, and it got picked up by Epic Records, and we shot a video, and yeah, man, it was on rotation on Rap City. It was bugged out. I still got a vinyl. I still got a vinyl copy, with the Epic label at the crib.
Yeah. Um, and then, you contributed to what I think is, for me at least, one of like the seminal hip hop albums to come out of California or the West Coast, which was Earthworm by LPG.
Yeah,
What that was 90? Was that 95?
yeah, yeah. I think so.
What was your role in that?
94, 95. Well, I had known Dax and Journey like from when I used to do shows with Soup at their church, and this is prior to me even having a record deal, and I always knew they rapped and could rap really good, and so when I did my first stuff, I always invited them to the studio to come by and kick it. So after I did my second record, um, and they helped me with that, they got signed to the label as well, and Soup was supposed to produce it, but Dax and him didn't really communicate on how to get it done. And while that happened, I was steady like making beats because there was like a pre-production room in the back of the studio, and I used to take all the Soup's records and make beats from them. I didn't even use my records; I used his record. So I pretty much produced the Earthworm record with all the Soup's samples.
You had your own machine at this time, though. But at this time,
Um, yeah, but um, his was set up so we had the same machine. So I just would bring my floppies, and I would just use his machine in the pre-production room, and then I would go home and make stuff and go to the studio and add to it and stuff. So yeah, when we were ready, when they were ready to record the record, uh, they were like, "Yo, we need beats," and Soup was like, "No one's ever called me. No one's talked to me about anything." And so I was like, "Yo, I'm ready. I'm ready. I got beats like stacks of discs." So we just threw up beats, and they were like, "Yo, heck yeah, let's," you know, and we just went with it. And I did 9 out of 10 tracks on that. Pretty much produced it. Yep.
was that the era where you had to show up with your raps already kind of locked and loaded because you don't want to waste studio time, or were you guys
Nah, we
running
had
in the studio?
studio. We had studio on lock. Like when we had the studio, we had it for like 24 hours. Like so, we would spend the night there a lot. Like if we had the weekend, like we would come in on Friday and wouldn't even see light until Sunday. Like we would be in there. Like sometimes we go on a 7-Eleven run, and just grab food or order pizza or whatever, and the homies would come through, and yeah, it was a fun time. It was a really fun time. I have visual memories of putting up a beat and seeing Journey just sitting against the wall in a corner by himself, like nobody talked to me, and with his book just writing, and just playing the beat over and over and over, like for 5 minutes, rewinding it, play. Because back then, there was no loop. You had to rewind the tape. And then when he would say, "Okay, I'm ready," then everybody would just get out the way. He would go in the booth and destroy it, and then you know go on to the next song. It was dope. It was dope times.
How do you explain the genius of that album? I guess that's one way to say it. It's like it didn't sound like anything that came before it. Why was that? Like, what was going on with you guys that you guys made that for this audience? You know what I'm saying?
Well, it helps that Journey and I were like best friends. Well, we are best friends, but during the time we were in the same mental space with hip hop. We loved the same stuff. He also lived with me for a little brief time too. So I mean, we would always be in the room listening to music and vibing together, and I would be making beats in the room, and he would be like, "Yeah, that shit's banging." And we would just go to the studio next day. So it was just I don't know. I want to say it's just a collaboration of my sound, the boom bap shit with their West Coast style flow. and how it connected. You
Mm.
know, a lot of a lot of West Coast rappers during that time were they weren't similar styles, but they all had that flow, that early '90s flow. But the beats were more like West Coast sounding beats. Well, for me,
Mm-hmm.
it was more like boom bap, East Coast shit. So, they were rapping over my shit. So that I think that's what made it kind of different, where it wasn't typical, you know,
Mm-hmm.
West Coast sound. That's what I think it is. But
Yeah, that's dope. No, I mean, just the whole genesis of that story is it sounds crazy to some people today because like it all comes out of the fact that there were no beats and like how hard was it to get a beat to run? Not even hard, but like who had the beats?
right,
Motherfuckers didn't have beats in 92, 3, 4. Like they were
yeah,
hard to come by. You
yeah,
had to wait to get a fucking beat,
that's true.
and
Because
now there's just beats galore.
yeah, everybody would always try to cop beats from me, and I was always down. I was never like not down. I was just busy, you know, busy making records. I wasn't. You would never catch me like at an open mic or like or that what's the place that MCs used to go to downtown or in LA.
Blowed or good
Yeah,
life.
project like you would never catch me there because I was in the studio like either working or learning. I didn't have time to, although it was dope, but I didn't. That wasn't my thing. I just wanted to be in the room, like a fly on the wall, just learning and trying to get better.
So you put out a bunch of work in the '90s, and then something changed in the 2000s. Is that right? What happened
Yeah,
in the 2000s?
absolutely. Yeah, I got married. I got married in 2000, 2006. Yeah, yep. And my wife, she had two kids, and so I became husband and insta dad like overnight. And so yeah, it was more about trying to be a husband and a father in the 2000s than anything. So I put down the machine. Matter of fact, I sold it like 3 or 4 years later. Because I was like, yeah, I don't need this. I'm done. Yep.
What got you back? What got you back at it?
Well, unfortunately, my wife got ill, and again, music is my life. It's my everything. Just because I wasn't making it doesn't mean that I wasn't influenced or wanting to. But my wife got ill, and the last 9 years of her illness, before she passed, uh, she was in a home, and so I had a lot of free time. So I thought it would be good mentally for me to occupy some of that time with making music again. But it's a whole different thing because now it's computer based and it's digital, and so I had to catch up to how music was being made, and I made a lot of shitty music learning, how to make it, like 10 years ago, but I didn't care. It was just the fact that I was making it and putting it out, just for people to hear and people to see that I was still, working. That was my point. And you know, now I'm like satisfied with where I'm at, but I still think I haven't even reached my peak of music yet. I don't I don't think so.
What are some of those standout albums from 2010 to 2020? I know you mentioned the Honeybee as one of those. That was
I'm listening.
yeah. That was an album that you dedicated to your wife, or you made uh, with her in mind? Is that right?
Yeah, so my wife's name was Melissa, and the definition of the name Melissa is honeybee. So I decided to make a beat tape or beat album, all sample based, dedicated to her. Um, and it did really well. Like people, when I say really well, that's not like gold or platinum. That's like well for me. Like I put it out and people supported the project. Yeah, I got really good feedback from it. And yeah, it was a good thing, man. It's one of my favorite projects that I've ever done, and I'm happy I did it.
And then since then, it's been continue honing your craft. You started taking piano lessons. You continue to make beats, and that kind of brings us to like where we are today with this Black Love project. Um, tell us a little bit about the Black Love project.
Well, yeah, man. I mean, you're the one that came to me, like asking me. You didn't know that I really fuck with coffee like that. And you were like, "Yo, it'd be dope to do a collab," and I was like, how? I really wasn't sure what you were talking about. But yeah, man, collaborating music and coffee together and attaching it, for people to just vibe to. Yeah, I was sold. You didn't have to say no more. So, I mean, it was crazy how our first conversation, I was trying to explain to you how, an example of how I envision it, and I said, let's just say we call it Black Love, and I was like, yo, so that's it right there. Like, why say no more? Like that. As soon as I said it, like it all came to me. Like, okay, I can sample love songs and black coffee, black people, black culture. Just it was just easy.
Yep. Well, actually, tell us about your coffee conversion experience because it's actually connected to mine in a strange way. Who put you up, or when did you get put up on this whole specialty coffee?
Oh yeah. Oh, so I used to drink coffee as a kid. The way my family drank it, the way my mom made it. She made cafe bustelo. With a cafetera, and you know, drink it with milk and sugar, and that's just how we drank it, and it was good. You know, but it's more like a dessert, man. It just tastes like sugar. Like um, but yeah, one day I went to my boy's Jason's house of propaganda in Long Beach, and I don't even know why I went there. Like I think I just went there just to vibe. Like I hadn't seen him in a while, and we were just catching up. And he was like, "Yo, he offered me a drink," and I was like, "Yo, can you make me a coffee?" Because I knew he he was a craftsman at it. Like he made coffee. And so he was like, "Yeah, man, I'll make you a pour over." And I was like, "Okay." Well, at the time, I never had one. I knew of them, but I never had one. So he was like, "Yeah, just as long as you drink it black, man." And I was like, "I don't know, dog." You know, he was like, "Trust me." And being that I know Jason, he loves whiskey and he knows what he's talking about. I was like, "All right, bet." And as soon as he made it, I had a sip and it was so clean, so pure, like so easy to drink. It didn't need nothing. And I was like, "That's it. I'm never drinking coffee any other way." Like, like how? How is this so good? The
That's
cleanliness,
dope.
man.
Yeah, my boy was competing in AeroPress competitions. He
Oh,
was posting on social media, and I was like, "Oh shit, what's this about? Come through the office and make it." And when he got there, he was like, "Yeah, I was just in a tournament and I battled this. I was in an AeroPress tournament and I competed against this rapper. I don't know if you heard of him. His name's Propaganda." I'm like,
oh,
"Oh
word.
yeah, I know fucking Propaganda." He's like, "Yeah, I competed against him." I was like, "Okay, cool. Let's taste your shit." And same thing, bro. I was like, "How in the fuck does this taste like blueberry, bro? What in God's green earth have I been drinking? Some old bullshit all this
Yeah,
time." So it was the
yeah,
same thing. It was just like straight conversion.
yeah, man. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we used to be like 7-Eleven coffee was the shit, you know, like,
Taking
and
pictures with it too, like
yeah,
coffee.
man, it's donut shop coffee. Like, oh my god, what came up today? You know, it's so bad.
Hey, stress. It's that stress coffee. You know what I'm
It
saying?
is.
Industrialized. All right, check this out. All right, let's end this with a little bit of a little lighthearted. Um,
That's
we're gonna
it.
go. Shit. I mean, what? It was okay. Shit, let's play some music. Shit. Okay. Man, I have a favorite track. I have a favorite cut. Let's back it up. Here, I'm gonna reset. Bang. Black Love. Yo, the Black Love bundle comes with the coaster. That's already dope. Um, Comes with some micro filters. Comes with a sticker. Comes with the whole album. So you need to jump on that quick. The master just came in today, right?
Yeah, yeah. It
Hot.
sounds
And
sounds really good. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I just hope people dig it. You know.
yo, is it a thing where you rather like you didn't try to hide the samples in this, right? Like,
No, see, that I'm glad you brought that up. Like, cause here's the deal. Like, I could easily have hid all these samples, but I want the people to recognize the songs and relate to why I'm using them. It's because of the love of the music and the love of each song that I took while you're drinking the coffee. Yeah, I mean, it's just a whole experience to me. I mean, yeah, I mean, you're gonna hear Earth, Wind, and Fire. You're gonna hear the Gap Band. You're gonna hear, you know, Anita Baker. You know, and you're gonna make it out and be like, oh yeah, he just did that. But really, I mean, I could have hit it, but no, man, it's just a whole vibe. And yeah, I mean, the point of beat making, like, well, from when I started making beats was to try to hide the sample so that we wouldn't have to get clearance. You know, so back in
right?
the '90s, it was like, okay, we can use a sample, but change it around so they won't identify where it came from. So that's how we used to flip beats, you know, until people were just like just taking like 10 seconds and just looping them, and it's like, well, it's no fun anymore. Like anybody can do that, you know. So
Right.
basically, this record is like, yeah, it's basic, but it's dope though because it's just the whole vibe to me.
Yeah, I think when you go hard with coffee like we do, I'm curious to hear your answer on this because my first thought was like the music. There's a reason why there's like a Soul Sundays. You know what I'm saying? Like the
Yeah,
music is like a elevated soul, familiar sounding music, right?
correct.
And I was like, oh, this is perfect for like a Sunday morning because the runtime's like 20 to 25 minutes. You
Hmm.
know, you can make your coffee listening to it, sit down, just get your vibe right during this. But then I started thinking, actually, I do that every day, bro. It's not even just fucking Sunday.
Yep.
Do you, when you make your coffee, are you making it? You taking your time every morning? Is it that serious for you?
No, I'm usually in a rush to get to work, but once I get to work and I start sipping my coffee, I put in my earbuds and then I play what I want to hear to get me through the first hour and a half of work, you know. So,
But
like, the master
are
came
you
in
are you make?
today. What was that?
No, go ahead.
The master came in today, so I listened to it a few times today, but I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and experience it in the morning, like fresh. What were you gonna say?
So, say, do you make your French press or pour over every day, or do you take a shortcut on some mornings and like do some other shit?
Today I was late. I had to go to this barista right around the corner from my job, and luckily she makes amazing coffee. So,
Oh,
um,
word.
yeah, she's really good. And but yeah, typically if I'm up, I'll either press it or I started experimenting with the V60, and it's working out great. Um, so yeah, I've been doing it that way.
Portland's a coffee city. And I imagine like coming out with some coffee in Portland is like coming out with an album in the Bronx or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yo, you don't step with no weak shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
What kind of gave you the confidence that we weren't stepping with some weak shit?
I was definitely experiencing Angels roasting. The homie in Portland at La Perlita. Yo, his beans are ridiculously good, and having it, to taste what our shit was gonna be. I was like, yo, this project is gonna be super dope because the coffee's good, the beats are good, the packaging is good. What you get, you're definitely getting your money's worth. Like if you go on any website and you buy a bag of beans, it's gonna cost you anywhere from 18, $20 easy. So you telling me for $33 you get dope ass beans, dope beats, a coaster, sticker, and everything else that comes with it, and shipped to you? Psh, come on, man. How can you get that deal?
That's right. Yeah, yeah. It's like, yeah, I don't see any good reason to buy coffee from fucking Big Coffee Inc., bro. I'm always like,
Yeah,
why in the fuck? Don't put your money there, bro. Find somewhere else to fucking give your
yeah,
money.
especially
Don't
like
give it to
if you're cats like you know, you just trying to sell good shit, good product to good people, and I'm all about supporting small businesses and people that are starting out. I love doing that.
Yo, there's so many dope components about coffee and this project. One is, yo, this whole like we just went like bi-national with this shit, bro. Because as you know, we connected with an artist from Mexico City, Flores. My man came through with some fire for us, right?
Yes, sir, man. So
Here, let me see.
crazy, so crazy. I really did not expect this at all, but yeah, man.
I'm gonna go ahead and play. So we sent Flores the track. Told him the spirit behind it. I was familiar with his work from his record label Viajes Cosmicos, and I was like, "Yo, we had the opportunity to work together." My man fucking crushed it. So I'm gonna go ahead and just play this 30 seconds. I'm just going to play it. Let's see.
Where's the other?
One more again.
The extra kick. That look just like.
I just noticed the coffee cup and shit was the plants popping off the desk.
Oh,
You
you
see that?
you haven't noticed that?
No, I think I just noticed that shit like hitting like that.
Yo, that's the like one of the first things I noticed. Like he actually on the kicks, the coffee cup shakes and everything lifts on the table.
Yeah, that's hard. That's really hard. I'm gonna watch it one more time. Hey, fuck it, why not? Here, just go.
Yeah. So dope.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, there's a whole move towards diversifying specialty coffee. You know, Angel's up there in Portland, but he's crushing it. But he's an exception to the rule of like what's happening up in coffee in general. But when like different people have a chance to create for coffee lovers, we get
Yeah,
different shit. You know what I'm saying?
yeah, yeah. I'm just really excited about this whole project, and I really hope that people grasp it. onto the whole vibe of what we tried to bring them. Um, from everything, from the packaging, from the bean, the music. I really hope that people can sit down and say, "Yo, this was fantastic."
It was collaborative in a bunch of ways. I know your boy Jace really came through and shot some cool videos and some photos.
Man, it just the way it all happened was just like, yo, like this was supposed to happen, like this was meant to be. But Jace really knocked it out the park with his video and interviewing me, and all that stuff will be attached to the QR code, right? When people
Yep.
buy the bag, you'll be able to see that video as well. And then my boy D Steel, he mastered the whole joint, put it together for me on love, and just like, yo, I got you, So, family, they show up, and I can't thank them more, I can't thank them enough.
Fixate came through with some hand styles. Someone you've worked with before, is that right?
Or yeah, my man Keith, he's definitely been there from, the man from the beginning. Like he drew my logo, and he did this joint. This is a take on the Illmatic font, you know, and he. I just told him I want peace in the Illmatic letters, and he hand drew it, and so we made the peace shirts like this. We did the De La font. Matter of fact, the cartoon, the thing we just saw, he's wearing the peace shirt in the De La Soul, the the De
Sorry,
La
man.
letters on
So
its t-shirt. Yeah, that's the stakes is high lettering. Man, that's my man Keith. He's been there from day one on love. It's just crazy. It's crazy how how in the beginning of my career, um, like people really rock with me, like, and I had no idea, and like 30 years later, they're showing up like, yeah, man, you were heavily influenced. Me, one of my homeboys, my real good friend. He's a part of the Stereotypes production crew, and they produced for Bruno Mars, and like they did all that 24 karat magic junk. And he was like, "Yo, you're the reason why I bought a drum machine at 8 years old. I asked my mom for a drum machine at 8 years old because he had all my records. And like, this guy's crazy, and I got to go in the studio, and they're huge right now, but now we have like a good, like a solid friendship, like a brotherhood, man. It's dope. It's real dope.
yeah, it's the power of like having a product like coffee. I mean, really, in the end, I could have been selling coffee cups too as well. But just having some shit to say, hey, a reason to engage someone, a reason to see if there's some similarity, some commonality, some reason to do some shit. I think it's part of what drives a lot of people to start a business is just to be in the marketplace with some shit. You know what I'm saying? To
Yeah.
have your booth at the swap meet.
Word.
And the connections that happen are kind of like fucking kind of magical, bro. The first collaboration that we did included a beat fucking Madlib made. You know what I'm saying? For Elemento. Like, fuck, bro. I love Madlib, bro. I'd never in my fucking wildest imagination think that I have a reason to do something promoting Madlib shit for any real reason but coffee, bro. Hip
Damn,
hop.
that's super dope, man. I mean, Elemento is dope, and having Madlib, who's a god, basically. Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's
Kudos.
coffee, bro. Yeah, coffee does that. So 33 bucks. If you're going outside during the pandemic, you'll fucking spend $33 on a hamburger and fries and fucking unlimited refills right now. So $33. How about this piece? I have people come to me and they're like, "Yo, why you charge so much for your coffee? I get it for $10 at Starbucks or $7." I was like, This is high grade shit, bro. So yes, you can get it for cheaper. You're not gonna get this high grade for much less than this. And I'm asking you to pay more on the strength to support some different shit, get some
Right.
music,
Yeah.
and I think people could do it. I'm not. We're not chasing people who don't really have the dough, bro. There's enough of us who have money who will rock. At least that's the gamble, you know what I'm saying, that I take with this shit.
No, I think you're doing it right. You know, I think you're doing it right, and the people will show up. You know, the word gets around. If it's quality, people will be like, "Yo, you need this in your life." The word will get around, and people will
Yeah.
pay it. If they want it, they will pay.
All right, Peace. Let's see what your mornings are like, bro. You gotta tell me, bro. Waffles or pancakes?
Waffle.
Waffles. Well, I think you really mean waffle, because waffles only come with one. I've never seen
Well,
fucking
it depends
two.
on where you go.
Okay. What do they do? Where do they do the waffle stack?
Well, you can go to Roscoe's and get a couple of waffles.
Okay. I didn't know that. See, I like to think of myself going through life and stacking pancakes on my plate. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So like for me, like the more like I want to like walk into a public setting and someone say that man stacks pancakes very high. I want to be that guy, bro.
So you're a
So
pancake guy,
yeah, I'm a pancake guy. I'm not gonna tell anybody I'm really a French toast guy because
dog. If I get two pancakes, I'm not even gonna eat them both. Like I'll have like a quarter. It'd be full.
yo, they kind of do treat pancakes as a throwaway. It's like we're gonna give you the eggs, the bacon, the hash
Yeah.
browns. We're gonna give you everything, and then we'll bring you some pancakes because you're right. You're not gonna fucking finish these pancakes, bro.
Yeah, no, because if you eat the pancakes first, dude, you're not eating the rest.
Yeah, pancake is like a dessert in breakfast. Yes.
What?
Oh wait, so you take the pancake or the waffle after the egg and the hash brown and all that. For you, it's like a dessert. You save it for the end.
Well, yeah, I'm a weird eater anyway. Like people trip out on the way I eat. Like I'll eat one thing at a time. Like I don't
Ah,
mix everything.
you don't mix it. Wait,
No,
was your someone in your family like that? Your moms or your pops were they like that
I
too?
have
Is
no
that like
idea. No, I don't think so.
oh,
I don't. If I can think back on my dad, nah, he would definitely mix. I don't like. Okay, like if the rice and beans come together, like of course I gotta eat the rice and beans together. But
oh
like
wait, so
typically,
they're separate. You don't mix them, but do you eat them like serially, like one at a time? Like I'm gonna eat the rice, and then I'm gonna eat the beans, then I'm
if
gonna
they're
eat the meat.
separated,
Yeah.
yeah,
Do you eat all the rice and then all the beans and then all the meat, or do you?
yeah. Like in the morning and breakfast, like if I have eggs, bacon, sausage, toast, I'm eating the eggs first, the sausage, then the bacon,
Okay.
and then the toast for last.
Yo,
I don't
Portland
know
Police
why.
Department. If, you're fitting like a ill
Bro,
profile of like
it's
someone who's
crazy
breaking
though.
into.
Yo, if I go to In and Out and I get a double double and fries, I'm eating all the fries first.
Oh, you got it because them shits get cold off top.
No,
But yeah, I
even
see.
I mean,
But that's
even if they were cold, I'm eating every
you
single
eat
fry.
all.
I'm not eating like if I see one fry left over, I'll be mad.
Oh wait, so but do you also then judge motherfuckers then like for
No, I
doing like
don't. Not at all. I don't judge nobody. I just know I'm different. Like like seriously, I
oh
used to go to this
no.
spot in Fullerton at a bar and have breakfast every Sunday. And I knew the the waitress, and they would know like he's gonna. They would watch me eat. They would be like, "Watch, he's gonna eat that first, and then that, and then that." Or they would
Wait,
try to guess. Like if I had a different plate, they would try to guess. Okay, you're gonna eat this first, that first, and that.
oh shit, what is the logic then? So is there like wait, so if you have
Yes,
eggs, bacon,
there is logic for me.
what is it? Is like the meat first or like
No,
the
I like saving the thing that tastes the best last.
that's an ill philosophy that probably shows up in other parts of your
I like
life, right?
knowing that I finished off with the best tasting thing. Like I just finished that burger and that shit was
That's
so good.
interesting.
And it like
Okay.
nothing is gonna mess with that flavor for a while until I have like a beer or something, you know, whatever I'm having, like after.
So this
It's like
reminds me of the
sushi,
smoke.
dog. When I go to sushi spot, like I always have salmon sushi, like 2 orders of salmon sushi at the end because that is my favorite.
Uh, yeah, this is the smoker's dilemma. It's like if you have like low grade tree and high grade tree, and you're gonna smoke them both.
Yeah.
What do you smoke first? Is it like the bad tree or the good tree, or do you save the good for last, or do you hit
I
that good
would
tree
know.
first?
I
And
mean, I would know that. I mean, I don't
yeah,
know,
but it's but it's
but
the same
yeah,
philosophy. It's like the best for last or whatever. Like
yes.
let's get through the work, and let's
Okay,
have
so
the
if I have
reward
two
later.
bottles of wine, which bottle of wine am I gonna drink first?
Yep.
I'm gonna drink the low grade first, and then I'm gonna
Yeah, bro.
kill it with the high end because I want to know that that one just knocked me out. I mean, not literally, but mind blowing flavor.
That's a deeply, and I hate to say it, but it is a deeply Christian way of looking at things, bro. It's like you have to. It's like they call this like suffer. You have to suffer
Okay,
for a reward. You know what I'm saying? It's like you have to go through some suffering to get to the good shit. And
suffer
it's
from the
like,
eggs to the sausage to the bacon.
yeah. Speaking of eggs, bro, I'm afraid to know the answer to this, but what's your egg style?
It's scrambled.
Scrambled.
Yeah.
Okay. Should I ask? How do you hold a spoon, bro?
Just
Scramble,
chopsticks.
scrambled. Like when I was 6, they sat me down. They're like, Carlos, no more. You're a man today. No more scrambled. We're going sunny side up. So now, well, I don't know, bro. Maybe you have. I don't know. Do you plus it up? Do you put it in a bowl and fucking milk and whisk it? Do you go ham on it, or do you just fuck? What's your technique? You have a
I
technique
put
here?
it in a bowl. I whisk it, and then I'll throw some cheese in it and make some cheese
Shredded
scramble.
or hold
Yeah,
on, bro.
man. What you
You live
think?
by yourself. You live by yourself, bro. I don't know.
By myself.
You might just break off a fucking chunk of cheese and like just
No,
drop it in.
no. Do you want me to go downstairs and bring up this shredded cheddar cheese so you can see?
Pre-shredded. Okay, I got you, bro.
It's
Pre-shredded.
pre-shredded. Yeah, pre-shredded.
Okay, I'm with you. All right, so you go. You throw in some cheese in the scramble. Okay,
Yeah, yeah.
can't fuck with it. I'm a sunny side up man, bro. So it's like some truckers, lumberjacks, fucking jet mechanics, Navy SEALs. That's what we do, bro.
All right.
We fucking go. We go sunny side up. All right, last one. Here we go. Early morning. You going IHOP, Denny's, or Norm's?
Okay, I'm definitely not going to IHOP.
Okay. You're
That's
anti
just
pancake. We know that.
yeah. I mean, that's just way too much sugar in that uh, location, man. Like way too much sugar. Norms, man. If I want something greasy and like steak, then
Wait, steak at Norm's?
steak and eggs, like because they do
Okay,
serve those.
that's right. That's right. That's right. Steak
Um,
and eggs. That's right. That's right. I thought you were going for the filet mignon at Norm's. I was like, nah, don't do that.
no,
Don't do that.
absolutely not. But steak and eggs at Norms, I can't lie. I've had it many a times.
Okay. Okay.
Denny's, Denny's, Denny's would have to be the go-to because you can go to Denny's at 7 in the morning or at 2 in the morning or at 10 at night. You're gonna get something. You're gonna get something on that menu that you're gonna be like, look, it's
Yeah.
really shitty, but I'm good with what I'm eating right now.
Yeah. If you can't find something you like at Denny's, just fucking call it a life, bro. There's
Yeah,
like,
because you could do like a turkey club sandwich, or you could do breakfast. You can do a skillet. There's so many varieties. But I still won't fuck with the pancakes.
hey, save them for last. If you can get, well, I guess if you
Well,
get to them,
you already know how I eat, so they will be last.
they would be last. Hey, Black Love. It's the roast. It's the beat
Sir.
tape. It's grab it, drink it, listen to it, post it, share it,
Yeah.
and
All
let's do
that.
some shit. Do
All
it,
that,
do it.
man.
And let's see. Again, follow Peace on IG.
Yep.
Jump on mestizo.coffee. Without further ado,